Welcome back to another edition of Valerie's Kitchen. You guys haven't seen me in a while. I took a break after the holidays, but now I'm back in it. And today I have a special treat for you. Today we're going to do my famous fried ribs. Some of you may never had fried ribs, never heard of fried ribs. Some people do them different kind of ways, but I'm going to show you how I do my fried ribs, okay? So we're going to start with spare ribs is what I use. I get the spare. I don't do the baby backs. I do the spare ribs, okay? So I've already cut some of the ribs up, and I'm going to show you how you cut them, okay? I've already cleaned them, took all the fat off of them, took all the skin off of them. That's the first thing, okay? But all you do, you just cut them in strips. You get between the bones. So you cut the meat just like you would cut ribs after you grilled them. Okay? Gotta have a nice sharp knife too. And then I like to cut what we call the little knuckle part off. You can cut one strip or a couple of strips, but you cut until all the knuckle is off, okay? All right. That's how you cut them, okay? But I have some here already cut up. Already in the bowl. We're going to season them. And all I put on mine is a little seasoning salt and a little black pepper. That's all I put on. If you want to use garlic powder, you can use garlic powder, onion powder, whichever you like. But I like seasoning salt and black pepper. I want you guys to get a good look at that. And you're going to season them to taste. That's all you do. Okay? I'm sorry, that seasoning salt gets up in my nose. Okay, and that's it. This is a very simple recipe, something you can cook after you get off of work, and you can add a few sides to it. It don't take any time. Okay, so then you bring them over here to your grease. Your grease need to be at least 350 degrees. Well, that's the temperature, 350. No higher than 350. But there's a trick to it. When you place your ribs in here, you place them one at a time, okay? And you don't just crowd it all of a sudden. You don't just crowd them all of a sudden. You do a little bit at a time. That way your grease don't get cold, okay? Your grease don't get cold, okay? Because if you put these ribs in here too soon, you put them in there too soon, one after the other, it makes your grease cool down quickly. Another thing I didn't tell you I did before I season them, you pat them dry with a paper towel, okay? Pat them dry really good, and then you season them. I forgot to give you, that's another step that I missed. So I'm going to put about 2. Then I'm going to wait a few seconds, and I'm going to add a few more, okay? If you put too many in, I promise you at one time, it's going to start to look like your grease is boiling. And that's because you let your grease get cold. So before you cook the ribs, one thing you can do, you can let them sit out for about 30 to 45 minutes. Let them kind of the temperature go down a little bit on them so they're not as cold. So you can let them sit out for about 30 to 45 minutes before you cook them. And that's what I did today. I let mine sit out about 45 minutes. Yeah, the grease is, I can tell it's a little cool, so I'm going to let it warm up a little bit. So I got it on my oven, my stove, is a little bit above medium. It's what you want it up. Maybe just a little bit above medium. That way you don't scorch or burn your grease. But after I get them all in here cooked and it's maintaining a good temperature, I'm going to turn them down to medium. And once you get all your ribs in there and get them cooking really good, it's going to take you about 5 minutes to really get them going. You know, to fill your pot up with your ribs. You don't want to overfill them, but once you get a nice amount of ribs in here, you're going to let them cook for about 15 minutes on one side. Then you're going to flip them over and let them cook 15 to 20 minutes on the other side. Okay, now we can look. I want you guys to look at them. Take a good look at these. Now they're cooking. It's at a good temperature. It's back up to the 350. They're not boiling. They are actually deep frying. So we're going to let them cook for about 15 minutes and until they're nice golden brown. And then we're going to flip them over, let them cook 15 more minutes on the other side, and they'll be done. That's how simple it is. It's a very simple recipe, and it's very delicious. I got this recipe from my mom. She used to fix it for us all the time when we were younger. We loved it. And your kids will love it too. So we'll be back in about 15 minutes to see what it looked like and flip it over, okay? Okay, it's been about 15 minutes, so we're going to go ahead and turn them. See what they're looking like. Yep, they're ready. So I hope you guys saw what I meant when I said put them in a little bit at a time. Keep your grease from cooling down too quickly. Those are beautiful. Just like I like them. Now I'm going to let these cook for about 10 minutes. I don't think they're going to need the whole 15 minutes. Now if they go a little longer, they're just a little more crispy. But if you don't want them real crispy, you want them just a nice brown color, just as long as they're done, you can pull them out at about 10 minutes. So we're going to let them go about 10. I'm going to check on them. If not, if they're not as brown as I like them, I'm going to let them go 5 more minutes. But no more than 15 minutes. If you do, it's going to be they're going to cook too long, they're going to be tough, and they're going to be hard. You don't want them like that. You want them nice and tender. So we'll give them about 10 minutes and we'll check on them. They're ready. We're going to pull them out. Okay, been about 10 minutes and they're ready to come out. So, take them out one at a time. Be careful, this grease is very hot. Now, this is during one of those times like today. It's nice and wet outside today. It's cold, it's raining, and we wanted us some ribs. So, instead of trying to grill them or put them in the oven, this is what we do on a day like today. We fry them. Put them on your paper towel and just let them drain. See how beautiful those are? Those are so good. I'm going to let those drain a minute. And I'm going to put my last batch in there. We're going to do them the same way. I grease a little hotter this time. So I can put a few more in at one time. I don't have to wait. So I put about 3 in there. Then I'm going to wait a minute or two and add some more. Okay, so we're ready to eat. When you finish with your fried ribs, you can do several different things with them. You can dip them in buffalo sauce if you want to. You can eat them naked if you want to. My favorite is hot sauce. Just plain old hot sauce. I drizzle a little bit on top. We got barbecue sauce here. We have a sweet and sour pepper sauce here. And my husband, his favorite is ranch. So he's going to dip his in ranch. And I made some baked beans already. So we got baked beans. But when I was younger and I was making this dish, what I used to do is I used to make boxed macaroni and cheese and eat with it. And I still do sometime today. But it did what I needed it to do at that time. My kids loved it, and they love these ribs. So we would eat the boxed macaroni with it. It was good. But today we're eating the baked beans, and he wants to eat. He tired of hearing me talk. So we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna taste it. You know, this is a finger food, so you can eat it with your fingers. Good. Try a little of this Asian zing. We're in toast. He likes beer with his, and I like wine. Okay, guys, we're not gonna let y'all we're not gonna tease you guys with this wonderful food.
That's good, man.
We'll see you next time. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment. You guys have a great afternoon.
Tell us what y'all want to cook next.
Yeah. Put in the comments what you want me to cook next. I do plan on putting out quite a few videos at one time, because it's been a minute since I'm talking with food in my mouth, but it's been a minute since I actually did a video. So I'm going to be popping them one behind the other. The next video you're going to see is going to be my beef roast. And then if you got something special you want me to try, send me the recipe. Now, my recipes are made for someone who's new, wanting to start cooking, and sometimes things seem a little hard or difficult. My recipes are for a beginner, or for somebody who wants to cook, make good meals for their home cooked meals for their family that's not expensive and not, you know, like some videos make them hard. So I want it to be as simple as it can be. So if you got something you like me to try, I've tried almost everything, so send me a video. Nothing is too simple. Anything you request, I will put it on the list to do a video on it, okay? All right, again, y'all have a good evening.
Peace.